Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you've been following along, then the video of today is a direct continuation of the series of videos called The Origin of Acceleracers. The series is made out of 3 videos: Highway 35, Acceleracers, and Battles Force 5. In these videos, we go through the history of the whole saga, we talk about the teams, the cars, the lore, and why this line is still a fan favorite 20 years after it was released. If you watch those videos, specifically the Acceleracers one, then you know that there was a comeback from Hot Wheels in 2025. In their silver line, they released 5 Acceleracers, an official re-release. There were some familiar, some updated, and there was one that kind of shook things up. In this way we have RD09, Iridium, Hollowback, the Revert, a brand new casting but inspired by the original Revert, and the Sling Shot, now wearing a proper Teku-liveried. Throughout this video I'll be unboxing these 5 models, but most importantly I will be comparing them with their counterparts from 2005. We will see what changed, what stayed true, but also I will discuss with you where do I think that Hot Wheels is redirecting themselves with these new Acceleracers releases. So let's start with the number 1 of the series. This is the Iridium. This is the only silencer that was released in this collection. Let me show you here on the back that you will see the 5 models around here, the Acceleracers logo, and of course the design in the front. It takes one of the silencers drivers that we don't know who they are. You see the wheel of power over here, and of course the design of the Iridium here, number 1 of 5. As I already said, let me free this one for you. First thing that you can feel after that you release the Iridium from the blister is that it's really light. The body is plastic, the whole body is plastic, and the base is metal. So the color is this kind of a gray with purplish, I don't know, a magenta with the Acceleracers or silencers code here by the side. It seems like an electronic design, electronic, let's say, pictogram. I'm not sure how to define it. So let me do this, bringing the original one back to you. Now, first thing that we need to address is the adjustment of the casting, like the updated tooling of the Iridium. What is important to remind you is that when the Acceleracers came out in 2005, all of the models were new, and they were designed with plastic bodies but always with the metal base, or most of them with the metal base. And well, after that it was used in Acceleracers, and of course the castings were released again in basic lines, in other lanes, with of course different designs, and at some point Hot Wheels, to reduce costs of production costs specifically, they need to do a retool. They need to change the way that this model is being built, is being constructed or fabricated, right? So there was a huge change for the Iridium, because you see the metal base. Well, this piece, this kind of wing over here on the top is actually metal as well. When you see the new tooling, you will see that this wing is plastic, and it's already like welded. I don't know how to say it, because welded is for metal and this is plastic, but it's kind of welded or joined together with the whole body of the car. So it's not a separate piece like this one was at the beginning. This, the part of the, I don't know if we call it engine here, it's also metal, part of the wing, when here it's plastic, part of the wing but plastic, and it seems to be also part of the body of the car. Second big change that I can see in the original one, the piece of the windshield or of the protection, I don't know how you want to call it, was extended until the front, and I believe that the interior were the lights, the headlights, or probably it was a different piece. No, it seems that the headlights were actually the base, the black base were the headlights, and the windshield or the cover or the roof, I don't know what to call it, is the one that extended here and divided the car. And here you see the Hot Wheels logo of Acceleracers. This was in almost, if I'm not wrong, in all the models, or in almost all the models, this separated because this piece comes from the interior. And in the new Iridium, the piece is already separated. You see, like the roof is already divided in 2, and this middle section, it's part of the whole plastic body. You still have this shutouts, I think that it's called, or shootouts, I don't know how, if the holes here, they are still the same, you still have the rivets. The front, it seems to me that this is also part of the casting now, like a part of the plastic car, and it's painted in white. It's not part of the base anymore, so it's a really heavy transformation of the Iridium. And the wheels, of course. The wheels, these were the Acceleracers 6-spoke wheels, were designed exclusively for the Acceleracers cars when they were released in 2005, and they are made of two pieces. You see the kind of the rim with the six spokes, and then you have kind of the plastic tire that was the second piece. This wheel, and well, something that I also need to mention, some people is really a purist, the Accelerators had also the red dot in the middle of the axle, right? These wheels, as we were saying, cutting cost, this two pieces wheel was really expensive to manufacture, so then of course at some point Hot Wheels just stopped producing it. And for this design, as this wheel doesn't exist anymore, for the new Acceleracers they decided to bring something similar, but of course this is just the silver line. They cannot, like, the cost will not justify the creation of a two-piece wheel, so this is just one-piece wheel, but it's a completely new design, kind of to resemble the original wheels of the Acceleracers, and of course with this translucent color to finish addressing the changes of the Iridium, the color. I like this a lot more, probably because it was the first. I'm really used to, you see that the kind of the design of these electric thingies or electronic thingies here is kind of in a different tone of gray, but I think that the new one, it's a lot more movie accurate. That was also the idea of the designers, to bring these cars back to life with liveries a lot more closer to what we saw in the movie. So I like a lot more this one. I think that the color of this or this livery makes it look actually as if it was full of metal, or a fluid metal, like it's in the movies. This one is a lot more, for me, looks a little more like a cheap plastic. There's no painting on it, it's just the gray plastic, which it seems a little bit sad, but of course it depends also on your taste. The number 2 in the collection is a long overdue release from the Acceleracers. It's actually the first of 2 Teku models. It's the only team that is represented twice in this series is the Teku, and this is the slingshot that Kurt Weill is driving in the first movie before it gets destroyed and before he changes his car for the battle aspect. That is the one that he's driving in the whole movie. Now let me open this one for you. Important to mention about the slingshot Teku is the first time that this car has ever been officially released with this livery, because the original car was shown in Highway 35. This is when we met the slingshot. The difference between Highway 35 and Acceleracers was that the cars that they were part of the Highway 35 were not new. All the models had been released before. They were just reusing them with new different liveries for the Highway 35 movie, and when it was extended to Acceleracers is when they designed new cars for Acceleracers, but not the slingshot, of course. The slingshot was basically, this was the car of Kurt Weill during the World Race, during Highway 35, and when we see him again in Acceleracers, he's still using the slingshot, but now of course with the Teku livery that was never ever released before. This is the first time that we see this livery officially released by Hot Wheels. Now let's address the differences that, besides the obvious, that is the full Teku livery that you can see here, is the changes on the casting, and the biggest one is the tail. We were mentioning before that Hot Wheels with time needs to kind of reduce costs, production costs, and the separate wing on the back part of the slingshot seems to be one of them, and they had to kind of put this together because I think that it's already quite complicated, the whole design, so I assume that the separate wings or the separate tails were making it a lot more difficult to produce. The rest, I don't see any difference at all in the whole design, the base of the original slingshot is metal with the metal body, so it's metal on metal. And of course this new slingshot is a bit changed because you have the metal body, yes, but you have a plastic base. The design is just like in the movie. It's really movie accurate, and the wheels of course also try to, not these ones were the Highway 35 wheels, but these ones try to replicate what we saw in the Acceleracers movie. It's again, they are not showing two parts wheels. An important detail to mention, pretty accurate I would say, I didn't realize before until I opened these ones, but the Teku models were using these translucent blue wheels, like the one that we saw in the Iridium now, that have this kind of magenta translucent wheels. And why this slingshot is not using the blue wheels, but because actually the translucent wheels were shown later in the movies when the Metal Maniacs and the Teku actually start copying the technology from the racing drones, and they start developing their own tires, and this is when they start becoming blue. And the slingshot was destroyed in the first movie before they were able to start releasing their own tires. So that's why you don't see the translucent blue, because this was the original black color that the slingshot was using. So this is the new addition, this is the new release, and it's certainly really beautiful. For the number 3 of these collections, we bring the leader of the Metal Maniacs. This was Tormadox, this was the Hollowback, that was his car, and this is the new release that it also pretty changed compared to the original version or original release. Let me open it for you. The Hollowback, the first time that I saw it, the first time that I saw the original design, was not one of my favorites. It was too much for me at the time, but I have to say that with time it grew out on me, and I find it now really beautiful. Now the first thing also to see about this Hollowback is the weight. It's pretty light, metal base and plastic body just like the others. And let me bring you the original Hollowback. Again, the first thing that you can see is that the color red is quite different. I believe that this kind of cherry red was not really movie accurate, so this one tends to go more to what we saw in the movie. However, the cherry red gives it a more premium finish. It looks a lot more like, again, like a metal body, which is not. This is also a plastic body with the metal base. Big differences also in the engine. This part of the front, it was plastic. Also this engine was plastic, but as you can see, it was the front grille with this kind of extension here or protection for the engine, and the engine was one piece. In the new design, this piece, this center piece, is part of the whole body, and just kind of the plastic engine, it sits below this protection and kind of inside of these shootouts of the body. In the back, you will also see the difference, because all this here is part of the interior. I am not sure if it's connected to the front, but certainly it's part of the interior here. And this one, it seems that there's part of the interior here, and this is part of the base. This kind of is, I don't think that it's a wheel, it's more like a ventilator, I don't know, but this seems to be part of the base, and it seems to be the part that is covering the rivet on the other side. What you need to also see, what they are trying to do to cover this kind of exposed piece of metal that the Hollowback had before, they are trying to paint it in gray, which for me is not the best, because it actually doesn't look like the chrome of the original engine. But still, how they are kind of fixing this is, you see this black color on the hood that this one doesn't have, and also the black color here in the back that this one doesn't have. That is because that's how the car looked in the movie. In the movie they have this black background in the hood and in the trunk, and in the release of the toys, I assume because of the technology at the time, they could not have this additional color there. They could just have the base color and then some let's see, graphics in the sides. You also can see that they were able to add this kind of chrome details in the new release here that you cannot see on those. And the wheels, Of course, something that I'm realizing also is this, the exhaust pipe. You can see that the exhaust pipe in the original it's a lot slimmer, and in the new one it's big. And the wheels, these were the Highway 35 wheels that for some reason all my Acceleracers models from Metal Maniacs have the Highway 35 wheels. The translucent wheels, no, it's just the black wheels, and you have not the new wheels they designed for Acceleracers, but these really beautiful classic wheels, I would say. These wheels look really beautiful with classic models, and of course they suit the Hollowback a lot, because this, I guess, is supposed to be like taken from this classic muscle car, and then of course they are putting these classic wheels. In the back, pretty similar design. Again, this one is more movie accurate in terms of colors. I still believe that the whole original Hollowback looks better, and again, that could be just my opinion because I grew up with these models, right? So probably a lot of purists will prefer this one because it's a lot more close to what we saw in the movies. And the bad guy of the movies, or should we say the bad girl, but also it's a drone, so I don't know how to address her, it, whatever. This is the number 405, and this is the RD09. Let me open it for you. Casting of the RD09 was also heavily modified. The body is plastic just like originally it was, and the base is metal with the extension that this is for me something quite impressive, that they were able to keep these fins on the back, and also the engine is metal. Not in the front, this part is plastic, but in the back you have still a metal engine. Let me bring the original piece. This was the original RD09, and as you can see here, it has some more matte black finish compared to this glossy finish from the new version. And again, the glossy finish is a lot more movie accurate compared to the matte black finish of this one. In terms of the design of the casting, it was changed on the front, as you can see. It's a different, I don't know if we could call this engine or this different component, and this one had also kind of a matte gray finish compared to the chrome finish of this one. This of course is part of the interior of the car. This one is the same, it's part of the interior. The windshield, I would say that it's pretty similar. I see a change on this side. Here you see that the windshield is part of the car, or it's kind of smooth with the car, and on this one you see that there's a small, like, I don't know, vertice, I don't know how to call this, that it's a small piece outside of the glass that this one didn't have. So there's a change in the body of the car, and of course the engine. This is metal, but the design is different. I cannot tell you if it's more movie accurate. I assume so based on what I have been seeing on these cars. In the back, this piece here is plastic, and the same as this one that is plastic. Fins, what I think that is really nice is that the new fins in the new RD09 have the graphics just like in the movie. Why we didn't have them in the original? Well, because the technology didn't allow them to have printed details on these parts. Now they do, and they have a lot more real or close to the movie livery. And the wheels, you still see the Acceleracers wheels that we talk, and the new that they are releasing for this silver lane. And because they were copying all the translucent technology from the racing drones, all the racing drone models have already the green translucent lights in the original 2005 models, and they are releasing the translucent green lights for the new models as well. So this is the car that is driven by Galorum, the RD09. And for the last model of the series, let's talk about the Revert. This is a new casting. You will say that's not possible because I saw this car before. Yes, you saw the Revert. This is the Revert. Here is the name, you see, Revert. Let me explain to you, let me open this one and explain to you everything about this new design for the Acceleracers line. first thing that I can tell you about the Revert, this thing is heavy. This thing, it's massive. And if you want to know why, it's because this model has the metal body and the metal base. This is metal on metal. And you will say, I remember this car, and of course you do. We talked about the Revert before. This car is plastic body, metal base, and this is the car that basically Vert is driving in the last movie. This is my favorite Hot Wheels ever. I still cannot exactly define why, but I love this car, and this was the original design. Now, this was called the Revert, and after that the Acceleracers movie was released with this name, they came to Battle Force 5 and they used the name again as a Revert in Battle Force 5 with this one. I was pretty pissed when they reused the name, because I thought that this was the car that needed to be called Revert all along, but they came with the name again for this one. Besides using the name twice, Hot Wheels didn't have the rights for the name, so there's something else in the world, I don't know exactly, I didn't investigate, that is called Revert, so they could not use the name for this car again. That's why they are changing it officially to the Revert. And this is actually quite nice, because this also includes the Vert Wheeler name on the name of the car. Right here I will show you the base of this one, so you can see what I mean. This was the Revert. This one is not visible, I guess. Yes, it's really here, but probably you will not be able to see it. This is the Revert here, and this one, it's the Revert, right? Something that I also think that is really nice is that they are including the jumping jacks of the Tekus here in the base, and the whole design is incredible. I love this car and I love this color, but this is incredibly movie accurate, incredibly more movie accurate than this one. The blue, the shiny blue, this glossy blue, it's exactly what we see in the movie. The orange headlights, the orange engine cover, all this is exactly what we see Vert driving, and something a little, well, you will say a little small, but in the original car, in the 2005 release, you see that the Teku logo stays only below this line, and in the new one you see that the Teku goes over this line. Why is that? Well, because before they didn't have the technology to go over this kind of vertices in the car. Now they do. They are able to put the tampons also over. This was how the real car looked in the movie, or well, not real car, but the car looked in the movie, so they had to adapt it when they released the toy line. But now they don't have, they can do it as the movie intended. Let's say something also really nice is that they are adding the side mirrors that the original car didn't have, and in the back, before there was no color, now they are adding also the little taillights in red. In general, you can see also the front, there's a slight change in the front, and in general the design looks incredibly well executed. Again, the weight, of course, this one outweighs by far the old design. I don't know, it's still my favorite, probably because now I have kind of a emotional attachment with the time, for the time that I have had this monster. But this thing, guys, this is a mega improvement. This thing looks awesome, it feels amazing, and well, also just forgot to mention, this also has the Acceleracers blue wheels. I'm sure if you like the original Revert, you're going to love the Revert. This thing is amazing. And this is where things get really interesting. What's next for Acceleracers? Well, we already know that for this year, 2026, in the basic line, we have the Acceleron coming. This car is inspired on the aliens that actually create the realms and the tracks and everything, the Accelerons, and we see one of these guys in the last movie of the Acceleracers, so that alone is huge. because it means that the Acceleracers line is still coming. But there are also some hints from Wrong One that a premium release might be coming related to this Revert that we just saw, because if you remember we talked about it, the Revert is metal on metal, and also related with the 70 Plymouth Road Runner that he designed, and it was released also in the premium Fast and Furious line. And who is Wrong One? Well, in case you don't know, he's probably the most important designer of Hot Wheels right now. He's the responsible for releasing a bunch of hypercars and supercars in Basic, in Premium, in RLC. He even is doing some releases with Matchbox, which is huge. And most importantly from this video, he's also a huge Acceleracers fan. So if what he's saying turns out to be true, we might be seeing some really nice premium treatment in Acceleracers coming soon. And before we say goodbye, what about a wishlist? Actually, two wishlists, one in the silver line and another in the premium. Let's talk about the silver one, a silver line of motorcycles. Maybe Hot Wheels can finally release the motorcycles that they never released from the Acceleracers movies. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then go and check the Acceleracers video. We're talking about the RD07, the Magnesium, and the Nightlife. For the fourth release, they can re-release the Jaw Jammer, that it was released before in Basics, and I already showed you. And for the fifth release, we can go for a really hidden motorcycle on the Acceleracers movies. It never enters the realm, that's what we never mentioned it before, and it's so mysterious that it's only known as Vert's motorcycle. This one could round out the fifth release. And now, even better, my pop culture premium wishlist. My Fast and Furious wishlist is working suspiciously well, so here goes nothing. Hot Wheels, if you're listening, this is what I have in mind. From Highway 35, let's finally release the Racer Set 36. It's the black Sling Shot. It was released once before in this set that we talk about it. There's only 1,000 in existence. They are difficult to get, they are super expensive, and they are wrong because they have the green windshield and the correct windshield in the movies is red. So this could be a great opportunity to bring it back. Then we move to Acceleracers, and I have two castings from them, the Aura 2. We have also been talking about that. There was one release in NFT that is also super expensive to get. There was one release last year, 2025, in the Basic line that has a completely different livery, just is Teku reference. So bringing the proper Teku to a premium release more attainable for everybody will be amazing, and if you can bring back the movable surfboards and not the fixed ones, that will be even better. And then, just as has been hinted by Ron, let's bring also the 70 Plymouth Road Runner with the Metal Maniacs livery that Taro Kitano is driving in Acceleracers. Then let's move to Battlesforce 5, because in Battlesforce 5 we have this Power Rage in red that Vert is driving before it turns into the Saber. That one will be a really nice way to bring the Power Rage back. It's a really nice casting. And to end, I am putting the 55 Chevy Nomad with the ambulance livery from Lanitam. This one could be the most discussable selection, but I wanted to bring a car that it has not been released before, because of course you can put any car of all the others and give it a premium release and it will be really nice, but I wanted to talk about one that has never been released before, so that's what I choose, the 55 Chevy Nomad with the ambulance livery. So these were the two wish lists that I had for Acceleracers, and talking about Fast and Furious, I will be updating you in my collection in the next video, every single model that I picked up in 2025 and in which movie they appear on. If you want to catch up with the full series and the wish list that I mentioned before, I will leave the link in the description below, so if you want to catch the next video, also don't forget to like and subscribe, and of course, tell me what do you think about this series. Did you enjoy it? Do you agree with my wishlist? Is there any model that you would like me to add there? Or is there anything about the whole Acceleracers lore that I forgot to mention? I will be happy to read you. Until then, my name is JR. Thanks for being here and see you next time. Adios.
From 1,000 horses galloping, tearing up the street. That's right, you know, 'cause it's a long, hard road. That's right, you know, and it's a heavy, heavy load. That's right, you know, and I will always be free. That's right, you know, because 1,000 horses galloping, tearing up the streets.